U.S.-backed Syrian Democratic Forces have declared victory over the Islamic State group, and that marked the end of the IS's self-declared caliphate. The forces have been locked in a battle over the extremists' last shred of territory in eastern Syria. SDF's leaders said that the village of Barhouz has been liberated, and despite the loss of territory, the group is still seen as a major security threat in the region and worldwide. For more, let's speak to our regional correspondent in Beirut, Leila Molana Allen. Leila, we've heard similar declarations like this before, notably from the U.S. president. What makes this one different?
Yes, so last night, of course, President Trump again saying that ISIS had been eliminated. The reason this is different now is that it's the SDF, this Kurdish alliance backed by the U.S., that has said they have officially cleared all the fighting. And that is different because, of course, it's not the U.S. who are conducting this campaign. They're providing support. And the reason it's taken so long is that they've really been fighting street by street, inch by inch. There was a kilometre of territory, then there was half a kilometre of territory left in Barhouz, this area. Then there was just a camp full of tents and the last remaining people, the holdouts. And then yesterday, they were down to just a strip of road. But the SDF really wanted to be sure, the Syrian Democratic Forces, that they had cleared everything before they announced it. And this morning, they finally announced it. And this brings an end to this, the so-called Islamic State's caliphate, which has been going since 2014, once took up a third of Syria and Iraq, and it's been reduced to this tiny little space. The reason it's taken so long is that there were thousands of people in the end hiding under this network of tunnels they had built around this small village of Barhouz, and people just kept coming out. And there were so many civilians that it took a very long time for the SDF to clear, but they have finally said that's it now.
As you mentioned, this fight against the Islamic State going on for 4.5 years. Surely some threats remain. What are they?
Absolutely. So part of the problem with an organisation like this is it was very spread out. They had lots of people in lots of different areas. And so that we know that there are still many people remaining across Syria and Iraq and further beyond. Of course, we've seen terrorist attacks around the world where people have claimed that they've been allied with so-called Islamic State. Within Syria, lots of people we know have escaped. As they were coming out, this group, the SDF, were trying very hard to check people, to check whether they were fighters or civilians. But of course, people do slip through the net. In Iraq already, Iraq has supposedly been cleared of Islamic State for a while, and we've seen there are lots of sleeper cells set up across the country. We've seen shootings already, we've seen kidnappings, and of course the United States, President Trump decided that he was going to pull out the American troops from this area where they have been fighting, which is in the Euphrates Valley between Iraq and Syria. And now he's said that now that Islamic State supposedly has gone from there, those troops are going to go. People there are very concerned that, of course, that American military presence was what was helping them fight. And there have been warnings from people saying, specialists around the world, saying that we're looking at a resurgence within a few months unless pressure is maintained because these fighters have been so widely spread out. So still a lot of concerns that while the caliphate may be gone, the Islamic State mindset, the people who want to commit attacks in their name is still very much around in the area.
All right. Thank you very much, Leila. Leila Molana Allen reporting from Beirut.